Hello everybody, I'm Gokulnath from the Crack with Gokulnath YouTube channel. How are you guys? I hope you guys are doing well. So today we're going to solve the most important questions based on JEE Advanced level. So let us start to solve our questions, guys. Our first question is, that's a system of equations 2 to the power of root x plus root y is equal to 256 and log to the base 10 of root xy minus log to the base 10 of 3 by 2 is equal to 1, then what is the value of x plus y? And that is something they are asking in the question. Guys, in the question, they are given 2 to the power of root x plus root y is equal to 256. So what I am going to do here is, in the question they are given 2 to the power of root x plus root y is equal to 256. Now what I am going to do is, I am going to write this 256 as 2 to the power of 8. As we know, 256 is equal to 2 to the power of 8. So I am writing 256 as 2 to the power of 8. So that the root x plus root y will be equal to 8. Keep this in mind, guys. The root x plus root y is equal to 8. This is the equation that we got. Now, let me take this as one equation. So, what I am going to do is, I am writing this equation above. Okay. Root of x plus root of y is equal to 8. So, remember this. Now, it is one of the equations that we got in the question. Now, guys, what I am going to do is, in the question they are given, log to the base 10 of root xy minus log to the base 10 of 3 by 2 is equal to 1. Now, what I am going to do in this expression is, see carefully, so it is log to the base 10 of root xy minus log to the base 10 of 3 by 2 is equal to 1. Now guys, what I am going to do is, in the 1, I am going to replace this 1 as log to the base 10 of 10. I am going to replace this 1 as log to the base 10 of 10. So what I am doing is just a basic thing, guys. We know that we can write the 1 as log to the base 10 of 10. Because this is one of the rule which you learn in your logarithm. So using the rule which we have learned in the logarithm, I am saying that 1 is equal to log to the base of 10 of 10. Try to understand this, guys. This is one of the rule in the logarithm which you learned in your 10th standard. So that 1 can be represented as log to the base 10 of 10. By which formula means? That means log to the base a of a can be written as 1. Using this rule, I am saying that 1 can be written as this. That means this 1 can be written as log to the base 10 of 10. That's all, guys. Now what I am going to do is, I am going to take this log to the base 10 of 3 by 2 to the right hand side. I am going to take this minus log to the base 10 of 3 by 2 to the right hand side. I am taking now. See, guys, log to the base 10 of root xy is equal to, I am taking to right hand side, means how it will become is log to the base 10 of 10 plus log to the base 10 of 3 by 2. This is how the equation will become when it interchange to the RHS. Now guys, what I am going to do here is, we know that log to the base 10 of 10 plus log to the base 10 of 3 by 2. Now how we can add these two log, guys? You can see that the bases are same. So how you will add the two logs? We can add by multiplying the inside value. When the bases are same, we can multiply the inside value. It is one of the rule, same in the logarithm only. So I can write it as log to the base 10 of root xy will be equal to log to the base 10 of 10 plus log to the base of 10 of 3 by 2 can be written as log to the base 10 of the multiplication of the inside value. This is the rule which we learned in the logarithm. So what I am saying is log to the base 10 of multiplication of inside values 10 into 3 by 2. So 10 into 3 by 2 is what, guys? That is 15. That's all. That is 15. So log to the base 10 of root xy is equal to log to the base 10 of 15. So that we can say that root xy root xy is equal to 15. Now guys, we have got two equations. What are the two equations? Root x plus root y is equal to 8 and root xy is equal to 15. These are the two equations that we got now. Now what I'm going to do is a very simple thing, guys. Very simple thing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply, that means in this equation, that is root x plus root y is equal to 8, I'm going to square on both sides. That means I'm going to square this, in this equation I'm going to square on both sides. When you square means what you will get, I will grab this, guys. When you square means what you will get is, it will be equal to root x square, that is x, plus root y square, which is y, plus 2 root of x root of y, which is 2 root xy, will be equal to 64, because 8 square is 64, na? That's all. That means, guys, root x plus root y whole square means a plus b whole square. Simplify this. When you simplify means x plus y plus 2 root x, then root y. Root x root y means it can be written as root xy. That's all. So that they are asking what is the value of x plus y. If we need means x plus y will be equal to 64 minus 2 into root xy. What is root xy? That is 15, guys. This equation helping us to find the value of x plus y. So what I'm just doing a basic idea of the equation here to find the value of x plus y, because that is something we are asking the question. So we know that root xy is equal to 15 means I can apply that now. So root xy is equal to 15. So 2 into root xy means 2 into 15. When you do that, x plus y will be equal to 64 minus 2 into 15, 64 minus 30. So the answer will be equal to 34. That's all, guys. That's all. So the x plus y is equal to 34. So I found the answer is equal to 34. That's all. This is the answer for this question. How we found means by some logarithm rules and also logarithm functions I applied, and also some basic algebraic identities too. I use the basic algebraic identities to solve this question. That's what I used to solve the question. So answer is 34, guys. This is all about this question. We can move on to our next question. Our next question is, if alpha and beta are the roots of a quadratic equation satisfying the conditions of alpha beta is equal to 4 and alpha divided by alpha minus 1 plus beta divided by beta minus 1 is equal to a square minus 7 divided by a square minus 4, and a belongs to L numbers, for what values of a will the quadratic equation have equal roots? That is something they are asking in the question. So what we need to do first, guys? What we need to do is, you can see that there is an equation given in the question, which is alpha divided by alpha minus 1 and beta divided by beta minus 1. This is the equation which is given in the question. Now what you are going to do is, now simplify this equation by finding the LCM. By finding the LCM, simplify. When you simplify means, I will first simplify the LHS, which is alpha beta minus alpha plus alpha beta minus of beta. This is what you will get, guys. Now what will be the denominator? Our denominator will be equal to alpha minus 1 into beta minus 1, which is alpha beta minus alpha minus beta plus 1. This will be the denominator, and that is equal to a square minus 7 divided by a square minus 4. This is what the equation will become when I simplify this. Now what I am going to do is, I am going to convert this expression, that means this LHS, into another form. How I am going to convert is, alpha beta plus alpha beta is 2 alpha beta minus of alpha plus beta. Then our denominator will be alpha beta, then minus of alpha plus beta plus 1 is equal to a square minus 7 divided by a square minus 4. This is what the expression will become. Now what I did is, I just add alpha plus beta and minus of alpha plus beta. So why I did like this means, guys, in every J advanced question, if you see a quadratic equation question means, what I need to do is, definitely they will give an expression. Your main focus is to convert that expression based on alpha plus beta and alpha beta, which is sum of the roots and product of the roots. That is one of the main thing which we need to understand. Okay guys, so this is what I converted. Now what I'm going to do is, as per the question, they are given alpha beta is equal to 4. If alpha beta is equal to 4, 2 alpha beta will be what? That will be 8 guys. That will be 8. Then alpha beta. What is alpha beta? That is also 4. That's 4 only. So what I'm going to do is 4 alpha beta will be 4. Here plus 1 na. So we'll add 4 plus 1 will be 5. So 5 minus alpha plus beta, then it 1 will gone. Okay, 1 gone. So 5 minus alpha plus beta, and this is what you will get when you simplify this expression. Now guys, I'm going to cross multiply in this expression. That means the basic cross multiplication to get a linear form. When you cross multiply means you will get a big value, but I will write in a small standard form. Okay, what a value you will get is 3 of a square plus 1 is equal to 3 of alpha plus beta. This is what you will get when you cross multiply and see. You will get a big value, but in a standard form, that means a less value form, you will get like this only. So when you do that, 3 will get cancelled. That means alpha plus beta is equal to a square plus 1. Alpha plus beta is equal to a square plus 1, and this is what we got now. Now we've got that sum of the roots is equal to a square plus 1. That's okay guys. I wrote at the top what is sum of the roots, a square plus 1. Product of the roots, it will be 4. So what will be the quadratic equation whose the sum of the roots is a square plus 1 and product of the roots is 4? That means we need to find the quadratic equation in which alpha plus beta will be equal to a square plus 1 and alpha beta will be equal to 4. So what will be the quadratic equation is x square minus of a square plus 1 of x plus 4. This is what the quadratic equation. This is a quadratic equation in which sum of roots is alpha a square plus 1 and product of the roots is 4. So this quadratic equation is x square minus a that means a square plus 1 x plus 4. Now, how I am saying this means, how I am converting these alpha plus beta and alpha beta into a its respective quadratic equation is very simple formula guys. What is alpha plus beta? That is minus b by a. It is one of the formula which you learned in your quadratic equation. And what is alpha beta? It is c by a. So we are having constant. We know c by a minus b by a. Using those values, I can say that this will be the quadratic equation. Very simple thing guys. Only the formula for alpha beta and alpha plus beta helps us to find this quadratic equation. That's all. Understand this. Now guys, this is what the quadratic equation that we got. Now in the question they are saying, for what values of a will the quadratic equation have equal roots? So what is our point here means? Guys, a quadratic equation have equal roots if the discriminant is equal to 0. A quadratic equation have, that means have equal roots if discriminant is equal to 0. What is mean discriminant? The discriminant is b square minus 4ac na? B square minus 4ac. That should be equal to 0. So what is b square minus 4ac here? That is minus of, guys, based on this quadratic equation I am saying what is b square minus 4ac. So minus of a square minus plus 1 whole square, then minus 4ac. So minus of 4 into what is a? That is 1. So a1. Then what is b? That means what is c? Constant is 4. So same 4 only. Now guys, this is what we got. Now I will erase this because this equation is not recovered now, because we found b square minus 4ac is minus a square plus 1, minus of a square plus 1 whole square minus 4 into 1 into 4. This is what we got. But the main point is this discriminant should be equal to 0. That is when the quadratic equation has equal roots. So we can say that 4 into 1 into 4 means it is 16 only. So 16 equal to 0, which is equal to 0. So what we can do is take 16 to that side. When you take means it will become as is equal to 16. So what is our equation guys? So minus of a square plus 1 whole square is equal to 16 means, so then minus of a square plus 1 whole square is a square plus 1 whole square, and that will be equal to 16. The question they are given 16. So a square plus 1 will be equal to 4 because root of 16 is 4. So a square will be equal to 3. So a will be equal to plus or minus of root 3. That means we are having two values for this answer, guys. Whether either a will be plus root 3 or minus root 3, which is plus or minus root 3. Guys, we know that this is an advanced question. So as it is an advanced question, we are having multi-correct answers, which is two correct answers. In the question, the two correct answers are plus root 3 and minus root 3, but we get it as plus or minus root 3. Both are same only. As when you are in the exam, you should write it as plus root 3 and minus root 3. That's all, guys. So answer is plus or minus root 3. This is all about this question. We can move on to our next question. Our next question is the sum of n term of series cosecant inverse of root 10 plus cosecant inverse of root 50 plus cosecant inverse of root 170 up to cosecant inverse of root of n squared plus 1 of n squared plus 2 and plus 2. That is something they are given in the question. So guys, how to approach this question? Now guys, tell me one thing. What is the general term of the sequence? That means what is the general term of the series? The general term of the series is cosecant inverse of, I will write here. Cosecant inverse of, general term of this series is cosecant inverse of root of n square plus 1 into n square plus 2 and plus 2. This is the general term of this series, guys. General term means this is the general term. That means cosecant inverse of root of n square plus 1 of n square plus 2 and plus 2 is the general term of this series. Now, let me say this general term of the series as some theta. Let me say this general term of the series as some theta. So, theta is equal to cosecant inverse of this value. Now, what will be the cosecant square theta, guys? Cosecant square theta. Then the cosecant inverse goes to this side means it become cosecant theta. I am squaring means cosecant square theta. So what new value you will get is n square plus 1 into n square plus 2 and plus 2. This is how it will become when we get cosecant square theta. What I am doing here, cosecant inverse goes to this side means cosecant theta. So cosecant theta is equal to this value means then I am squaring on both sides means it becomes as cosecant square theta plus the square root gone. So directly we get it as cosecant square theta is equal to n square plus 1 into n square plus 2 and plus 2. This is what we get. Now guys, what I am going to do is very simple thing. Cosecant square theta is equal to n square plus 1 into n square plus 2 and plus 2. What I am going to do is, in this expression, I am going to divide this 2 as 1 plus 1. I am going to divide this 2 as, split it as 1 plus 1. So when I split means, see guys, I am going to split to just 1 plus 1. So 2 as 1 plus 1 means plus 1 plus 2n plus 2n plus 1. What I am doing, guys? A very basic thing. Here it is n square plus 2n plus 2 na. So I am just splitting this 2 as 1 plus 1, 2n is same only. That is what I am doing. Now how can I change this expression into another form is n square plus 1 whole square plus 2n into n square plus 1 then plus n square plus 1. So what does it mean? What does it mean here, guys? Now how I am saying it as n square plus 1 whole square, then 2n into n square plus 1, then plus n square plus 1. I will say it. Listen carefully, guys. See, this is n square plus 1. I am multiplying with n square plus 1. N square plus 1 with this n square plus 1. We are having n square plus 1 now. N square plus 1. Here there is n square plus 1. So n square plus 1 with this n square plus 1 will be n square plus 1 whole square. Then n square plus 1. Then with this 2n will be 2n into n square plus 1. Then n square plus 1 into 1 will be n square plus 1. That's what I am doing. Now guys, see it. cosecant square theta is equal to cosecant square theta is equal to, we know that a square plus b square plus 2ab. Does it look like a form like a square plus b square plus 2ab? See guys, a square, which is n square plus 1 whole square, is a square plus b square, which is n square plus 2ab. Does it look like a form? Yes. So I can write it as a plus b whole square, which is n square plus 1 plus n. Okay, that's all. So whole square, then whole square plus 1. Guys, what I did is very simple thing. It looks like a form like a square plus b square plus 2ab. So that will be a plus b whole square. So a is n square plus 1 and b is n, because this is a square means this is b square. So what will it be? That will be n. That's all I'm doing, guys. Very basic concept. Then I adding that left out one. That's all I'm doing. Now guys, see carefully. In trigonometry, I learned one formula. Na? What is it by cosecant square theta? Cosecant square theta is 1 plus cot square theta. Cosecant square theta is 1 plus cot square theta. So I can write cosecant square theta as 1 plus cot square theta. It has 1 plus cot square theta, because 1 plus cot square theta and cosecant square theta are same. Cosecant square theta is equal to 1 plus cot square theta. Remember it, guys. So 1 plus cot square theta is equal to n square plus 1 plus n whole square plus 1. Now this one will get cancelled. This one and this one will get cancelled. This is what we did. So what's the new thing that we got is cot square theta n square plus 1 plus n whole square. This is the cot square theta. Now guys, I will rub what are the things I wrote earlier, okay? What are the things I wrote earlier? I rubbed. What all I wrote earlier? I rubbed it. Okay, cot square theta is equal to n square plus 1 plus n whole square. So what will be cot theta? So cot theta will be equal to n square plus 1 plus n. This will be the cot theta. If cot square theta is equal to n square plus 1 plus n whole square means, then cot theta will be equal to n square plus 1 plus n. So what will be the tan theta? Tan theta will be equal to reciprocal of cot theta, because tan theta and cot theta reciprocal relation. So reciprocal of n square plus 1 plus n will be 1 by n square plus 1 plus n. This is the reciprocal of n square plus 1 plus n. So tan theta is equal to 1 plus n square plus 1 plus n square plus 1 plus n. So what will be the theta? So theta will be equal to tan inverse of 1 by n square plus 1 plus n. This is the tan theta. The theta will be equal to tan inverse of 1 divided by n square plus 1 plus n, because the basic thing, if tan theta is equal to this value means, then theta will be tan inverse of that value. Okay, that's all. So theta is equal to tan inverse of 1 by n square plus 1 plus n. Now tell me one thing, guys. Now tell me one thing. This theta is the general term of the series na. At the beginning of a question itself, I told this theta is the general term of sequence. That means this cosecant inverse of this value represents the general term. That means that is theta. So this also represents the general term of the sequence na. Theta is equal to tan inverse of 1 by n square plus 1 plus n. This also represents the general term of the sequence, general term of the series. So what I am going to do is, I am going to write this n square plus 1 plus n as 1 plus n into n plus 1. That just I am writing like that. That means 1 plus n into n plus 1, because n square plus 1 plus n can be written as 1 plus n into n plus 1. That's what I wrote. Now this tan inverse of 1 by 1 plus n into n plus 1 represents the general term of the series, because this theta only represents the general term of the series. So I will solve, guys. So tan inverse of 1 by 1 plus n into n plus 1. So we know that To find the sum of n terms of series of this series, that means cosecant inverse of root n, then up to cosecant inverse of n square plus 1, n square plus 2n plus 1. To find the series, what we need to do is, we need to put we should write all the values as tan inverse of 1 divided by 1 plus n into n plus 1. To find the value of the series, we need to write all the elements as tan inverse of 1 divided by tan inverse of 1 by 1 plus n into n plus 1. Then only we can find the value of the series. I will repeat once again, guys. We know the general term is tan inverse of 1 by 1 plus n into n plus 1. To get the value of the series, we should write all of them as 1 divided by 1 plus n into n plus 1. That's what. So what you need to do here? Summation of, let me say it as summation of r is equal to 1. Let me say it as r is equal to 1, okay? To n number of elements as tan inverse of 1 plus n into n plus 1. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to write it as r now. So r1 plus r into r plus 1. This is what I got. Now guys, what I'm doing is, I took r is equal to 1 now in the summation. So up to n number of elements means I can write it as 1 divided by r plus 1. Just I'm interchanging n as r. So at the numerator, I'm going to add r and subtract r. Why I'm doing this? At the numerator, guys, 1 minute. We forgot to put the tan inverse na. 1 minute. Tan inverse na. 1 minute. Tan inverse of what, guys? Summation of n r is equal to 1 to the n number of elements. We forgot to put the tan inverse. I'm writing now. So summation of r is equal to 1 to the n number of elements of tan inverse of r plus 1 minus r divided by 1 plus r into r plus 1. Because at the numerator, I'm adding r and subtracting r. Anyway, it becomes 0 only. 0 plus 1 will be 1 only, the numerator. But why I'm doing this means, I can write this as summation of r is equal to 1 to the n number of elements of tan inverse of r plus 1 minus of tan inverse of r. Is it beauty, guys? Is it beautiful? I can write tan inverse of r plus 1 minus r divided by 1 plus r into r plus 1 as summation of r is equal to 1 to the n number of elements of tan inverse of r plus 1 minus tan inverse of r. How means? By the formula. Tan inverse of a minus tan inverse of b is tan inverse of a minus b divided by 1 plus ab. Using that formula, I can say this now. R plus 1 divided by r minus r divided by 1 plus r into r plus 1 can be written as tan inverse of r plus 1 minus tan inverse of r. When you do this also, you will get this value by the formula of tan inverse of a minus tan inverse of b. That's all. So what will the value of this expression? Here you need to put, what will the answer, guys? That will be equal to, here you need to put n in place of r. So that will be tan inverse of n plus 1, then minus of tan inverse of r. So tan inverse, here you need to put 1 in place of r. So tan inverse of 1 is what? That is pi by 4. So this is the answer for this question. So is it beautiful, guys? Is this beautiful? This is the absolute good question. Do you see this question, guys? How is this question? This is really great. In the question, you can see that there's a various concepts applied in this question. So I'm applying various concepts in this question. So answer I got is tan inverse of 1 of n plus 1 minus pi by 4. How means? That means I put r is equal to n in the first tan inverse of r plus 1. Then minus of tan inverse of r, I put 1 in place of this r. Because r is equal to 1, na? That's what I did. So it will change it as tan inverse of r n plus 1 minus of pi by 4. This is the answer. The question is beautiful, guys. The question is beautiful. That is amazing, man. This is a fantastic question, okay? So answer is tan inverse of n plus 1 minus pi by 4, guys. So if you have any doubts in this question, you can comment me. So we can move on to our next question. Our next question is integration of root of 1 minus x square of minus x divided by root of 1 minus x square of 1 plus x into root of 1 minus x square of dx. This is the question, guys. So the answer for this question is in the terms of tan inverse, okay? The answer for this question is in the terms of tan inverse. So that's one of the hint I am giving, because it's not like hint, guys. It is one of the main thing you didn't understand, because I can't write these options in the slide, so it was difficult to write. So only I'm just telling the answers are in the terms of tan inverse. That's all you need to understand. So how to solve this question is, guys, the main trick of this question is what value I am going to take for x. That is the main decision that you are going to take for this question to solve this. The value of x you are going to take in the question is the main decision you are going to take. Because Because the value that you are going to take x is a very important point here. So what I am going to take x, guys? Think of it. What I am going to take it as x here is, guys, in this question, we are going to take x as sin theta. X as sin theta. This is an important one, guys. Try to remember. I am going to take x as sin theta. If x is sin theta means, then how the integral changes? Integral of, so root of 1 minus x square. So what is the root of 1 minus x square means? Root of 1 minus sin square theta. That is root of 1 minus sin square theta is, because x is equal to sin theta, guys. So root of 1 minus sin square theta will be root of cos square theta. So root of cos square theta is cos theta. Cos theta. Then minus x. So what is x here? That is sin theta. So minus sin theta. Minus sin theta. Then root of 1 minus x square. Root of 1 minus x square means root of 1 minus sin square theta, which is root of cos square theta. So root of cos square theta is cos theta only. Same here also. Then 1 plus x into root of 1 minus x square. So what I am going to do is, guys, see, 1 plus what is x? That is sin theta. So that is sin theta. So what will be the root of 1 minus x square? Same, it will be root of 1 minus sin square theta. That will be equal to cos theta. That will be equal to cos theta. So then dx. Guys, I am taking the, that means the theta, I am taking the theta na. So cos theta minus sin theta will be cos theta into 1 plus sin theta cos theta. This is what you will get when you put x as sin theta. Now guys, what will be the value of dx? What will the value of dx? If x is equal to sin theta means, then dx will be the differentiation of sin theta. That is cos theta d theta. This is what you need to understand, guys. If x is equal to sin theta, then dx will be equal to differentiation of sin theta is cos theta, then d theta. So into cos theta d theta. Now see here, guys. Now see here. This cos theta will get cancelled. Now what you are getting is, what is the integration that is remaining is integration of cos theta minus sin theta minus of what you will get, guys. So minus of 1 plus sin theta cos theta then d theta. That's all. Now guys, basically you need to use one formula here, the quite unexpected formula I am going to use. Guys, I don't know whether you people know this formula or not, but I will write here, okay? So sin theta cos theta is equal to sin theta. Guys, I think I should write, I will write above, okay? This formula I am writing above. Sin theta cos theta can also be written as sin theta plus cos theta whole square minus 1 divided by 2. That means sin theta cos theta can also be written as sin theta plus cos theta whole square minus 1 divided by 2. Because when you do sin theta plus cos theta whole square and subtract 1 divided by 2 means definitely you will be getting this sin theta cos theta only. But For the question, I'm converting the sin theta cos theta as sin theta plus cos theta whole square minus 1 divided by 2. That's what I'm doing. Now guys, why I'm converting is this because, see, there is a form like sin theta cos theta na. That's a form like sin theta cos theta. So how the integral will change is, it will change as integration of cos theta minus sin theta then 1 plus sin theta cos theta. What is sin theta cos theta? That is sin theta plus cos theta whole square minus 1 divided by 2. That is, see guys, sin theta plus cos theta, 1 minute guys, plus cos theta whole square minus 1 divided by 2. This is what I am doing. Just the integral is changing into this form. By how means? By this formula. Try to understand guys. Sin theta cos theta can also be written as sin theta plus cos theta whole square minus 1 divided by 2. That's something which we need to understand. So integration of cos theta minus sin theta divided by 1 plus sin theta plus cos theta whole square minus 1 by 2. How means? By a sin theta cos theta. I'm writing this sin theta cos theta as this form using a formula. Okay? That's all. So what I'm going to do here guys, I will rub what are the things I wrote earlier. Okay? What I wrote earlier. I rubbed there those things. Now let me say sin theta plus cos theta as some t guys. I'm going to say sin theta plus cos theta as some t. Why I'm saying is guys, basically when you see an integral question, that means integration questions, basically we simplify some terms as some variables. Okay, I'm taking sin theta plus cos theta as t. In different questions you will be taking different expressions as different variables. That is important guys. That will be more useful to solve an integration question. So I'm taking sin theta plus cos theta as some t. Okay, so if sin theta plus cos theta I'm taking as some t means, guys, okay, so if I'm taking sin theta plus cos theta as some t means, what you will get is I can write this as, guys, from this I'm continuing. Okay, so cos theta minus sin theta. Guys, tell me one thing. Cos theta minus sin theta is dt. Cos theta minus sin theta is dt. How I'm saying? If sin theta plus cos theta is equal to t, then cos theta minus sin theta will equal to dt. How? That is because dt is the differentiation of this, na? So what is differentiation of sin theta? That is cos theta. What is differentiation of cos theta? That is minus sin theta. So they are applicable. So I can write it as dt itself. So cos theta minus sin theta can be written as dt divided by 1 plus sin theta, 1 plus sin theta plus cos theta whole square minus 1 divided by 2. So what is sin theta plus cos theta? That is t. So t square. Sin theta plus cos theta whole square is t square minus 1 divided by 2. Guys, I think you will get it as 1 plus t square, na? Is I right? 1 plus t square divided by 2. Divided by 2 you will be getting. Now what I am going to do is take 2 at the numerator guys, because anyway when you divide you will take 2 at the numerator. So when you take means 2 dt divided by 1 plus t square. What I am doing is just guys, sin theta plus cos theta whole square is t square. So 1 plus t square minus 1 divided by 2. When you do means you will get it as 1 plus t square by 2. 1 plus t square by 2, I am taking 2 in the numerator. We can take like that na, because when you divide also you are going to take to the numerator. That's what I am doing. So integration of 2 dt divided by 1 plus t square. Now this question is a very simple question. Now it is a piece of cake guys. You can easily solve this question. Now what I am going to do is we can write integration of dt divided by 1 plus t square. We know one formula na, integration of dx divided by a square plus x square. Integration of dx divided by a square plus x square. Using that formula, I will tell the formula. Integration of dx divided by a square plus x square. Using that formula, I would say that this can also be written as 2 of tan inverse of t plus some constant. What I am saying here is very simple thing. Integration of dt divided by, guys, I will take 2 afterwards, okay? Take this 2 after, I will take 2 afterwards, but consider this integration of dt divided by 1 plus t square. Guys, using the formula of integration of dx divided by a square plus x square, that means this 1 is the a square. A square means 1 square will be 1 only. Then x square is t square. That's all. So using that formula, I can write this as tan inverse of t plus some constant. Using the formula only I am writing, guys. So I am writing like that. That's all. So tan inverse of t plus some constant. That's okay, guys. I will rub what are the things I wrote earlier. So this is all we got. Now, guys, it is tan inverse of 2 tan inverse of t. What is t here? The t is what we took t, guys, that is sin theta plus cos theta. So we took t as sin theta plus cos theta na. In the question, sir, we took t as sin theta plus cos theta. Then plus some constant. So 2 tan inverse of then what is sin theta, guys? Sin theta is x. Sin theta is x. Then what is cos theta? Guys, by the question itself we can say, when I put x as sin theta, I am getting sin theta as x. So what will be the cos theta? That is root of 1 minus x square. Because when we do root of 1 minus x square, when x is equal to sin theta, you will get it as cos theta. So I can write it as plus root of 1 minus x square. So this is the answer, guys, plus some constant. So this is the answer for this question. So 2 tan inverse of x plus root of 1 minus x square plus x plus c plus some constant. Guys, this is the answer. How I find this means by some techniques I used from trigonometric techniques. So try to remember sin theta cos theta can also be written as sin theta plus cos theta whole square minus 1 divided by 2. That's all. That's the formula I used it. So using that formula I did, and also I did some basic standard integration formula, which is integration of dt divided by 1 plus t square can also be written as tan inverse of t. So tan inverse of t means I am adding 2 now. That's all, guys. So the answer is this is the answer. So we can move on to our next question. Our next question is limit of x tends to 0 of integration of t sin 10t dt from 0 to x and divided by x. The first thing that all people will think is we need to put 0 in place of x. When you put 0 in the place of x, the upper limit will be 0, so definitely numerator will be 0. Then when you put 0 in the place of this x means whole denominator will be 0. So we will get 0 by 0. We will get 0 by 0 which is an indeterminate form. We get 0 by 0 which is an indeterminate form. So we need to see one thing, guys. When we get as indeterminate form, we can apply L'Hospital rule, which is L'Hopital rule, na? L'Hopital rule which you learned in your limits. So using L'Hopital rule, I can solve this question because we are getting 0 by 0 as an indeterminate form. So what does the L'Hopital rule say? It says we should differentiate the numerator and differentiate the denominator. How means x tends to 0 of differentiating of numerator means d by dx of t sin 10t of dt divided by d by dx of 1 minute, guys, divided by d by dx of x. What is the derivative of x, guys? That is means differentiation of x will be 1 only. So that is 1. That's okay, guys. That's okay. Now we are having no problem in our denominator, but our main problem is in our numerator only. In numerator only we are having a problem because we should differentiate integration. So guys, there is a limit. I forgot to write the limit 0 to x. Okay, 0 to x. So we are having a problem with the numerator only. So how to differentiate this definite integration? So what I'm going to do here, guys, try to understand. Divided by 1 will be anyway the same value only, so I don't need to write it as divided by 1 and all. Okay guys, so we need to differentiate this d by dx of an integration of t sin 10t dt from 0 to x. So how to differentiate is, by seeing itself, you people should say that we're going to use a Newton-Leibniz formula. By seeing itself, we should say that we are going to use the Newton-Leibniz formula. How means Newton-Leibniz formula say how to differentiate a definite integration. So what is the Newton-Leibniz formula say? It is d by dx of a integration of one minute f of t dt from ux. Guys, this is the form I'm writing, okay? Just an example. It will be equal to f of v of x, then multiply with derivative of v of x, which is differentiation of v of x, minus of f of u of x, then multiply with derivative of u of x. So what I'm doing is, I'm just taking a simple form, which is d by dx of a definite integration. You people should understand that Newton-Leibniz formula is to differentiate a definite integration. So d by dx of a definite integration in which lower limit is u of x, upper limit is v of x, and the value inside is f of t dt. So that how the Newton-Leibniz formula works here is f of v of x, which is f of upper limit, into derivative of upper limit minus of f of lower limit into derivative of lower limit. That's what I'm doing. So same like this do here, guys. Same like this do here. So limit of x tends to 0 of d by dx. So f of v of x, which is f of x. So f of x means, if f of t is equal to this value means, then f of x, what will the value, guys? So f of v x will be x sin 10x. Guys, I'm doing f of x, that means upper limit function. So sin 10x, then derivative of v, that means derivative of v of x. Derivative of x will be 1, guys. Derivative of x will be 1 only, multiplying with 1. Then minus of f of u of x, that means function of the lower limit. So f of v of x, what will, guys, you will get it as 0 sin 10 into 0 sin 10 into 0. This is what you will get. Then the derivative of u of x, that means zero's derivative will be 0 only. That means this whole value will be 0. So guys, try to understand. This whole value will be 0. That means limit of x tends to 0 of, that means this will be totally, it will be 0 only, because 0 into any number it will be 0. So what value you will get is x of sin 10x into 1, guys. That's all. So in this now what you are going to do is, in this limit put x as 0 in the expression. That means put x as 0 means directly when you put x as 0 means the whole value will be 0 only. That's all. So answer itself is equal to 0, guys. So answer is equal to 0. So how we found means, by the two formulas, which is one is L'Hospital rule and another one is Newton-Leibniz formula. Newton-Leibniz formula is, it is used to calculate the differentiation of a definite integration. Try to understand those things, guys. So answer is 0. So at the last what we did, we put 0 as x as 0 in this expression, and we got the value of 0. So that's all. So this is all our questions on our today's session, guys. So I hope you guys would have enjoyed these questions and try to practice more problems, guys. So do your advanced well. So that means when you see about the question, the advanced is not like JEE Mains. Okay, advanced is really not like JEE Mains. JEE Mains, it's also tough only, but it's not like JEE Advanced. JEE Advanced have killer questions, guys. It are killer questions. So that means, guys, J advanced means for starters. That means I'm saying for J 2023, 2024, 2025 aspirants, I'm saying to them, not only prepare for JE mains. You should also prepare for JE advance. Because guys, after JE mains, you will have only 1 month for the JE advance. So that's not a good way to do, na? In 1 month, you prepare for JE advance? No, guys. That means with the JE mains, you should also prepare for JE advance. Because you need to get a good rank in JE advance means more practice is needed for more time. So try to understand these things, guys. Do you see how's the questions? That is the beauty, na? Fantastic questions. So guys, no problem in that. All the people practice for these remaining days for your re-advance. Do well, guys. So let us meet on our next fantastic session. So until then, it is bye-bye from Gokulnath. So thank you. Make education simple.